Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a monthly April message for all of the Sagittariuses out in the collective. This is going to be your monthly April energy reading. For those of you that are new, welcome to Eileen Into Spirit. My name is Eileen. I'm a spiritual advisor, intuitive coach, and I provide you with guidance, wisdom, and inspiration every week right here on this channel. We truly appreciate and value every single one of you. So all we can do is ask that you please subscribe. Give us a like as it truly does help our content. Comment down below should you desire, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I release new content. Without further ado, let's get into your message, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, this is going to be your monthly April message. I do want to point out that this is a general reading. It will not resonate with every single Sagittarius out there. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. Also note that I take jumpers from the pack. I don't like to choose my own cards. So let's get right into it, shall we? I'm going to start off with an oracle card, as this truly is going to help identify where you are physically, emotionally, and spiritually this month. So let's get started. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, what information and insight can you provide me regarding Sagittarius this month energetically? Okay, Sagittarius. We are starting out with the Dragon's Duel. Okay, so what this is really telling me is you are going through some inner conflict here. You're having to really work hard at making conscious choices. Change is really needed here, okay? I don't really feel that you're necessarily fighting this change. I really feel like you're embracing this change. But maybe some of you are going through the dark night of the soul experience, which is why you have this inner conflict. Which is why it may feel like sort of like a tug of war going on in your mind. Yeah, okay. So with this Dragon's Duel, okay, what I really feel this is really bringing to light, you know, I guess the right word here is going to be, we all have shadow aspects of ourselves. Every single one of us has shadow aspects. It's not so much about getting rid of the shadow aspects. It's more about embracing and learning to love ourselves in those shadow aspects, right? Which I feel is where the inner conflict is coming from. It can be very hard for us to accept those darker aspects of ourselves, or that shadow aspect of ourselves, and learn to love it and embrace it, right? You know what? One of the things that really sort of stands out to me is that, you know, I recently created a product called Eileen Into My Essence, where I developed a 12-day structurized coaching perspective to really help people do shadow work in a very loving and nurturing way. And one of the things that I really like to focus on is that even though things in our life didn't turn out the way that we had hoped they would, or even if we might have experienced circumstances that sort of challenged us, or we felt was unjust in some way, we learn to embrace this 12-day program really allows us to embrace where we are in the moment that we're in it, to really be able to learn to love ourselves in that space. And I think part of the inner conflict here is that I feel that you're trying to banish those parts of yourself completely, not really realizing that those parts of yourself still require love. They require attention. They require you to embrace them, okay? The other message you have here is message in a bottle, which I really feel is about you. You're waiting on that message, or that aha moment. You're waiting for that call that really signifies to you that, okay, that you've succeeded in your goal, or you've succeeded in your task. I think you're really looking for the right answer here. And I really feel that you might have been asking Spirit for an answer or some sort of a justification. I don't really want to say justification. You've been really asking for a confirmation, right? You've been asking for Spirit to deliver you a confirmation of, you know, hey, are you really listening to me? Are you really here? I want to read what the book says about this, because I really feel that there might be something in this message that might really help you here, Sagittarius, because when I was looking at it, I kept hearing, read what the book says. I'm like, okay, I'm an intuitive reader, but you know what? When Spirit usually tells me something, I listen to what Spirit says. There's a reason behind each and everything. Okay. All right, here we go. Message in a bottle. The essential meaning behind this is communication, a sign, okay? A Cledon, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. Okay, so that might actually be me delivering a message here for you, okay? Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them. When you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your eyes open for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. Okay. So, Sagittarius, what I'm going to say here is listen up, because we're going to get right into this message to see if this is going to be your confirmation, which I really feel it is. I'm sure I've already piqued your interest, and now you're really listening and you're sort of like leaning in, like, what is she going to say? So let's see what comes out with the tarot. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, what information and insight do you have for Sagittarius this month? What information and what insight do you have for Sagittarius this month? What information and insight do you have for Sagittarius? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, Sagittarius, we are starting out at the Five of Swords. Okay, the Five of Swords really signifies... it signifies, well, for me, it really signifies, you know, Dark Night of the Soul experience, where you are truly losing that, you sort of feel like you're being taken advantage of in some way, whether you're taking advantage of yourself, or you feel like other people are taking advantage of you at all costs, right? Like, I really feel this is probably you. This is you self-sabotaging yourself. This is where you're starting out. Okay, I want to point that out. I don't want to make you feel like you're not working on yourself or you're not moving in the right direction. You are. I'm just saying you're starting out at the Five of Swords. I am going to pull the book to see, because I might get a little bit more clarity on this Five of Swords. I had to do that earlier with, who did I have to do that for? Leo. I had to do that earlier for Leo. I had to draw some clarity. Okay. Let me clarify this Five of Swords right before we get started. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters. I want to clarify this Five of Swords, please. I want to clarify this Five of Swords. Why is this Five of Swords here? All right. Why is this Five of Swords here? This is for Sagittarius. Why is, whoa, why is this Five of Swords here? Why is this Five of Swords here? Why is this Five of Swords here? Do you not want to tell me? Okay. Okay. Okay, so, all right, Sagittarius, this is what we're going to do. So the Five of Swords, I'm going to read you what it says about the Five of Swords. I really feel that this is about conflict, right? I really feel this is about the inner conflict within you that is currently going on because you're going through the dark night of the soul experience, and because you had the dragon's duel, right? Where I said you had some inner conflict going on. I really feel that this Five of Swords is really pointing out that inner conflict, right? Almost like you're trying to, it's almost like you're coming from a place of loss. So here's what it says, okay? You may have experienced an unexpected loss that has left you a little bit sore. Sometimes life isn't just fair. And these inequalities can drain our energy for much longer than they need to. Often, it's the fear of failure that does most of the draining. If you are feeling outsmarted or outjousted, remember that one chapter doesn't define you. Wins and losses are both a part of the human experience, and the keys to self-improvement lie dormant inside the difficulties. Boost your consciousness, upgrade your skills, and build on this experience. In shadow, we learn that winning isn't everything, especially when deceit is a part of the strategy. The obsessive desire to win can have us stopping at nothing to feel victorious, and in the long run, we risk everything we've built along the way. You may find yourself a few steps backward after winning if you're not bringing your integrity to the games. And the affirmation for this is, the lessons move me ahead always. Okay. The clarifiers for this Five of Swords. Now remember here, Sagittarius, I said that I really felt like you were self-sabotaging yourself. I really feel that it's that shadow aspect of you that is really sort of berating you on the inside internally, right? And I really feel that you're recognizing that, like you're starting to get a lot of clarity, because we drew the Ace of Swords, right? The Ace of Swords, well, this says Ace of Air, but it's the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is really about getting that mental clarity, right? It's inspiration, seeing the truth of a situation, right? It's a challenging beginning. Like you're coming to the realization that maybe you're the one that is causing that. Maybe you have that goblin that's in your mind, right? I, as a coach, any time of self-sabotaging behavior that my clients do, we often call them goblins, and we give those goblins a name, because when you can identify them and you can actually have a conversation with them and recognize where they're stemming from, you're able to work with them. Okay. Now, the Ace of Swords here in this self-sabotaging situation is really about you coming to the realization and the clarity that this is something that you need to work on. And what we have here is the Queen of Earth, okay? And the Queen of Earth is really the Queen of Pentacles, right? So I really feel that this is going to be, because it says deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. Again, remember earlier when I was talking about the Dragon's Duel, this is about you learning to be a little bit more compassionate with yourself, learning to embrace and love the shadow aspects of yourself, because those goblins really need your attention. They're needing something from you. So if you're self-sabotaging yourself in this situation, which I really feel you are, here, Sagittarius, is you need to learn to embody and embrace those aspects of yourself, all aspects of yourself, whether they're shadow or whether they are light. They are all a part of you. They all have taught you something, and they all have brought you to the same space. So it's really about you learning to do that work. Okay. I know I talk a lot about that, which is one of the reasons why I created Eileen Into My Essence, because it's really about you going in it and doing it, starting it out in a way that is loving and nurturing, so that you're not berating yourself all the time. So after the Five of Swords, we have the moon, okay? The moon here, again, talks about light and shadow. It also talks about the things that we don't see, or the things that are being hidden from us, or the things that we don't understand. And it's really about you learning to go deep within yourself and really start understanding the depths of who you are, okay? You know, the moon illuminates everything that is before us. And I really feel that when we go through shadow work, when we go through the dark night of the soul experience, everything that we felt or everything that we've tried to hide from ourselves gets so illuminated in that process that you feel like you're drowning. You really feel like this woman in this picture, that you are literally drowning in the depths of your own muck and you don't know how to rise above it, right? And how you actually do that is you learn to embrace those aspects and you learn to do it one step at a time. You know, and here's the thing, and many times people will say, can I get to true enlightenment without doing the work? And the answer to that question is no. You have to do the work. You cannot shortcut it in any way. And I'm going to tell you why you can't shortcut it. You have to go through that experience. You have to face every single shadow part of yourself in order to rise above, because if you don't, you are going to continue to face the similar circumstances and situations that will trigger that aspect of yourself every single time. And even when you've worked on it, you will still continue to face those kinds of challenges along the way. But it's you learning them at a much deeper level, layer by layer, okay? What I want to tell you about the moon here is that this is about you trusting your intuition, listening to your intuition and listening to your inner guidance. Again, looking for those synchronicities. If you're having a really hard time figuring out how well you're doing on this journey, then my advice is going to be, are you documenting your journey? Are you writing down your experiences? Are you journaling? Because if you're not, that's something you need to be doing, because that is going to be your that is going to be how you're going to be able to sit back and say, I went through this. This is what my experience looked like. That's how you can actually see how much you've grown in such a short time. And remember, if you need clarity, if you need confirmation, you ask spirit and look for the signs, look for the messages, because they're hearing you. They're going to provide that to you, okay? And when you can do that, when you can actually face those shadow aspects of yourself and allow yourself to dig deep within yourself, you're going to rise above. And when you rise above, what is behind the moon is the sun, which is your happiness, okay? We then move into the magician, okay? Now, what I want to point out here is that this magician is really a reminder to you here, Sagittarius, that you're in control. You have your intellect. You have the resources around you, whether that's in other people, if you can learn from other people, if you can utilize what other people have created to help you along the journey, you have that. You also have your own intuition, right? You have everything that you need to be able to get you further along on this journey, okay? The magician utilizes all of the elements at his disposal to be able to create his reality. And I want to point out that everyone here in the collective is a magician. You have the power to be and create magic. You just have to learn how to utilize it and how it works for you, right? And I feel that's where people often get discouraged, like they don't understand, and that's because they're still learning. They don't understand the esoteric wisdom that comes from being a spiritualist or being in tune with their intuition. The more that you learn about who you are, the more you discover how much power you have, okay? After the magician, we have the Knight of Cups here, okay? Now, this Knight of Cups is really coming forth here, Sagittarius, to really deliver to you a message of self-love, okay? You have to learn to love yourself in every capacity imaginable. You have to fill your own cup. You get that from other people, but the only one that is going to be able to fill your cup to the perfect amount of brim, or fill the specific areas of the cup that need that nurturing and that love and that compassion, is you. You're the only one that can do that for yourself. Remember, if you're going through this inner conflict and you're self-sabotaging yourself, you're the only one that knows how to heal that. And the only way to heal that is through love and compassion, okay? And so this Knight of Cups is really here to remind you, be the nurturer, be the protector, be the giver that you need yourself. Give whatever you feel that you are lacking in place of love. You need to give that to yourself. Don't expect someone else to come into your life and fulfill that for you, because it's not going to lead you where you want. Okay? It's not going to give you, it doesn't hit the same. It's like when people come to me and they want advice on, relationships. And a lot of times they're like, well, why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he this? Or why doesn't he respect me? I get that a lot. Why doesn't he respect me? Or why doesn't she respect me? And the one question I always ask is, do you respect yourself? Do you respect yourself enough to say, I deserve better, and walk away? Whatever it is that you are needing, you're the only one that can give that to yourself. It's not someone else's responsibility. And I don't want you to feel like I'm lecturing you here. What I'm really pointing out is that you're the only one that can do this work for yourself. This is your experience, your enlightenment, your awakening here, Sagittarius. And so you need to be able to deliver that to yourself. Now, the heart of your reading here is the 10 of Cups, which I absolutely love, because this is spiritual fulfillment, right? You are going through this process because you are learning to become that greatest version of yourself. You are experiencing every conflict, every emotion that you have ever felt in your life, where it's discorded, where it's centered, where it's rooted. You're feeling it all, because it is bringing you to this great, massive awakening that you are not that experience. That you simply needed that experience to learn a specific lesson to help shift you into a new perspective, into a newer version of yourself who understands things at a much greater level. The other advice here for this overall message is the 3 of Pentacles, okay, which really talks about collaborating. So Sagittarius, what I want you to be aware of here is that recognize that you're not alone, okay? You have help in the form of other people who have gone through the experience, who know what you're going through, people that you might be able to reach out to and talk to. Reach out to them. Talk to them. One of the best things I could have ever done when creating my product, Eileen Into My Essence, was I built in a group, a Facebook group, where everyone that purchased that could actually join that group, so that they're all centered in one location, because they're all going through the same experience at the same time. They'll be able to help each other, build each other up, grow with each other. It's safety in that, right? Because you might be experiencing something that someone else might be experiencing at the same time. And if you feel like you're alone, how are you going to be able to move past that? You want to be able to have those conversations with other people. And this 3 of Pentacles is really a reminder to let you know what? You have resources. You have other people that you can collaborate with, that you can communicate with, to be able to help you along this journey. So now we're going to be moving into the steps and the advice that Spirit has for you this month. The first one we have here is Temperance, okay? Now, what I want to point out here is that this is really speaking to me about patience, recognizing that you shouldn't put yourself on a time limit when you go through this journey. I can't tell you how many times I have people ask me, well, how long do you think I'm going to need when it comes to coaching? I don't have an answer for that. The reason I don't have an answer for that is because it's all going to be dependent upon you and what comes up. Everyone is different. Everyone responds to certain things differently. Everyone has things that come up just randomly, right? And I always tell people, you know what? I always recommend 8 to 12 weeks because that will give me a really good idea of where you are and how quickly you can move through. There are some things that you would move through very quickly, and then there's some things that you'll stumble upon. So with Temperance, this is really a call for you to be patient with yourself here, Sagittarius. Allow yourself to go with the flow. Don't try to rush yourself through this journey or through this experience. Really allow yourself to be in balance. Be able to really delve deep, right, into your emotions with this moon, but also be inspired to take the necessary steps and actions needed to work through that process, okay? We then have an Ace of Wands. And what I love about this Ace of Wands here, Sagittarius, is that this is going to bring new inspirations for you. I think that as you go through this process and you rise above towards the end of your journey and your experience, you're going to come to the realization that you're going to have so much more insight, so many desires and ideas that you're going to want to create, and you're going to want to step forward and put forth that action. You're going to want to step out into a new world with a new journey and a new experience, and you're going to want to explore it. And that's what this Ace of Wands is bringing you. It's bringing you a new opportunity to explore a new adventure into who you are becoming, okay? We then have the Nine of Cups. And what I love here about this Nine of Cups is that the Nine of Cups usually speaks about a wish fulfillment, but it also speaks about success. I feel that with you going through this experience, no matter how daunting it might feel right now, know that at the end, when you get there, and you're going to get there, I promise you, you're going to get there. I really feel you're going to get there towards May. For some reason, May keeps coming up because some of you, and it might be different for everyone. If some of you started this back in, March, if some of you started this in March, everyone's different. But number one, be patient with yourself. Okay. This Nine of Cups is just letting you know that there is a reward for you at the end of this. There is a massive reward for you at the end of this journey and this experience, and you just need to continue to hold steadfast to what you are trying to accomplish. The outcome card is the Ace of Pentacles here, and this ace is a gift from the universe. As you go through this experience and as you go through this journey here, Sagittarius, the universe and spirit is going to deliver this gift to you, and it's going to be rooted in the physical. You're going to come to this new life. Okay, this new life with new friends, new aspirations, new dreams, new desires that you're going to want to bring forward and build upon to create an even better future for yourself, for your children, for your family. It's a new beginning that is fully supported by spirit and that is going to deliver to you so much abundance and prosperity. Now, that is what the Tarot has to offer for you. I really hope that this gave you a message that really confirmed what you've been asking Spirit for. I do want to draw an additional oracle card just to kind of get an additional insight and information. So let's see. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters. What additional information can you provide Sagittarius here? I love it. Okay. We have the Outlaw. Now, this is a fairly new deck to me, so I'm going to go ahead and read what it says in the book. But what I kind of feel that this really speaks about is this speaks about you currently going into a new adventure, right? You're going into a new adventure. You're exploring the depths of who you are. You're learning to understand who you are and recognizing. See, what I love is that this shows mountains, right? And I often refer to the dark night of the soul experience as climbing the mountain of self, right? Because you're truly climbing the mountain of self. You're learning and discovering who you are at the core, and you're having to work through those valleys and those highs of who you are till you get to the other side, okay? Now, here is what the book says about the Outlaw. Okay, when you pull the Outlaw card, it is time to go against the grain. It can be scary to do this. All humans at some point or another have received the message that conforming is necessary for survival. In fact, we are hardwired to be that way. Early on in human history, the individuals that were outcast from their tribe would not survive. That still lives within us, the fear that if we go against the pack, our survival will be threatened. But the outlaw gives us the courage to stand alone in stark contrast with that which is widely accepted or normalized. The outlaw pushes for progress within the collective. The outlaw is a good ally for when we are working on breaking free of limiting inherited patterns and beliefs. Let me repeat that here, Sagittarius. The outlaw is a good ally for when we are working on breaking free of limiting inherited patterns and beliefs. A balanced and healthy outlaw lives by their own personal compass. They are honorable and live with integrity, but it may not always be how others perceive right and wrong. For example, they won't say stealing is bad no matter what. They will ask, why is it being done and what is it for? Unbalanced outlaw can isolate themselves, believing that they are entirely alone. This may also turn into destructive, whether internal or external tendencies. They may also identify too much with being different and in turn are always in opposition of others simply for the sake of being so. Balanced outlaw is confident and rebellious by nature, but they are not that way for the sake of being rebellious. In other words, they have a cause. The outlaw asks for a give no attitude. I can't say that word. In order to do great things in the world, we must not get caught up in how the herd views us. We must keep going forward with that which we believe in. Given that, consider examining what radical means to you. In what ways do you live within the boxes that society has given us? And in what ways do you want to grow beyond them? I absolutely love this message for you here, Sagittarius. I couldn't have asked for a better addition to this message. So I hope that this resonated with you, Sagittarius. I hope that you got lots of amazing golden nuggets here. I feel like I always say that, but that is my catchphrase. I want you to be able to get golden nuggets. And if you are currently going through a dark night of the soul experience, or you're just embarking upon shadow work, and you really want to venture into a slow progression of it, then I highly advise you to look down in the description box. Click on the link for Eileen Into My Essence. It is a product that I developed, and it's a 12-day self-discovery process that helps you learn to embrace who you are, learn to embody where you are, and do it in a very safe, loving, nurturing way. So thank you so much for joining me, Sagittarius. I greatly appreciate you all, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Namaste, guys.